Oh, popping. It's popping tonight.
I popped early. I'm sorry. That was premature population.
Oh,
the
my.
first time.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
Hello.
Yeah, I opened it early. That is a poor decision. Not for my liver. Well, actually, there's a lot of decisions that go bad for my liver.
Wait, you still have a liver, bro?
I didn't say mine.
This one's almost ready for servicing. I think you got 100,000 miles on it, I'm sure.
Every year, 100,000 miles.
Every year, that's right.
We're starting hot.
Yes. Well, welcome to another weekly edition of the Baseball Brew Crew Podcast. We're keeping baseball history alive, one craft beer at a time. Wherever you are watching us, please give us a like and a follow. And if you love beer with your baseball, please tell a friend, get them to subscribe. It's free. It's free. It'll help us turn on those notifications, get involved. Get with it. Yes. Thank you so much. We appreciate you tuning in live. If you're watching the replay, again, like and subscribe. Here's the lineup card for today. Let's do it. Moving to the top of the lineup in the leadoff spot is the Goodwill Ambassador and the Sultan of Swig at the Baseball Brew Crew. Please welcome Cowboy Jack Durango, microphone in hand.
And here's to you, Mr. Mondragon. The Brew Crew loves you more than you will ever know. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Taro bless you, Mr. Mondragon. Baseball holds a place for those who play. Hey, 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 and have no fear, brothers and sisters in the Baseball Brew Crew Brewniverse, because it's me. It's Jackie Ballgame.
Jackie Ballgame.
Charlie Guzzle.
Charlie Guzzle.
The Hop King.
The Hop King.
The Sultan of Swig.
The Sultan of Swig. The Mr. Number One in the Fantasy Baseball League.
Mr. Number One in the Fantasy Baseball League.
The Valley of the Sun's favorite son.
The Valley of the Sun's favorite son, Cowboy Jack Durango. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Cowboy Jack Durango. Is that good, Jack?
Yes. Fanfare, baby. Fanfare.
I have to follow that. Please let me lead off.
And he is all valid nicknames. Yes, a celebrity endorsement to boot.
I just got another celebrity endorsement. Add it to the list, pal.
You are a PSA Gem Mint 10. Jack Durango. That I'm talking Ian's language.
Yes, yes. I'm a very expensive card, dude.
You're a nebula, to say the least. Oh, so good. Kevin, even though you participated, yes. I have to give you your proper introduction. Hitting second behind the trendsetter, the plate setter, is the field correspondent and senior research analyst at the Baseball Brew Crew. This is Kevin Lyon. Welcome.
Hi.
Well,
this is me laying a bunt after what Jack just pulled up here. Actually, you know what? To be fair, if I'm at the plate after that by Jack, I'm getting a brush bat.
Yes.
Or I'm getting beans. I'm getting bean, one or the other.
Yes, you're going to get one right at the small of the back or right under the chin.
Yeah. Thank you.
My name is Michael Mondragon. I'm your humble host for the festivities tonight. We have a great show. Why? Because we planned it that way, right? We wouldn't bring you anything less. Tuesday night is a big night for us, and we have done this 148 straight weeks in a row. So we are almost at the 150 mark. And you know how we'll celebrate? We're going to do another show.
Yep. All right. I already got something great for Jack for 150.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. That sounds good. Well, as tradition on the show, we always bring a new and unique craft beer to review and enjoy. So what are you drinking tonight? Cowboy Jack and Kevin Lyon actually collaborated last weekend. So let's hear about it.
Well, what do you get when you mix a microbiologist, a gold, silver, and bronze award-winning brewer, and a ton of girl power, boys? I'll tell you what you get. You get Cowboy Jack Durango's new favorite craft brewery in Arizona, 100 Mile Brewing Company. Sue Rigler already had a microbiologist degree, and she then completed the brewing certification program at USC San Diego in 2014. Then she teams up with head brewer Valerie Addy, whom she met at the Pink Boots Society Collaboration Brew Day. And not only did they create an amazing, comfortable space just down the street from ASU, they created a fabulous restaurant and brewery. Now, as you mentioned, Kevin and myself and the Durango clan, we had the pleasure of visiting 100 Mile over the weekend, and it was a treat from the minute we walked in until well after we left. The building is a bright, impeccably clean, beautiful space. The brewing room was so well organized and spotless. The decor was clean and crisp, and it fit. It was just a great place to sit down and have a great meal and have a few craft beers, guys. Yep. My first beer was the Infinite Coyote West Coast IPA, which is a real crisp 6.8%er standard fare IPA. It's just what you want out of an IPA, and it would be great for a sunny, hot Arizona day. It's that crisp, stout IPA without being too overpowering. So on my second beer, I took a chance on what's called the Pith Helmet Citrus Wheat Beer. It's well documented that I love a citrusy and hazy IPA. So anytime I drink a wheat beer, I'm always squeezing the lemon skis in there to give me that flavor that I'm looking for. So the Pith Helmet was, for lack of a better word, a revelation for me when it comes to wheat beers. It was the perfect combination of that citrusy, but then that wheat beer taste and fullness. I thought it was a brilliant beer, and it's definitely something that was out of my wheelhouse. When I ordered it, Kevin looked at me like, oh. So
I thought with the sweetness, I thought that would be your best bet since they didn't have a hazy IPA there that day.
Right. No, and dude, well worth it. Like now I have another soldier in the arsenal when I go. Like that was such a good beer. So I highly recommend stop in and say hi to Sue and Valerie. Let them know that the Baseball Brew Crew sent you. We had the pleasure of meeting her. If you drop our name like that, I know that would mean a lot to her. And tell her that Valley of the Sun's favorite son, Cowboy Jack Durango, sent you.
Valley of the Sun's favorite son.
Nice. I'm so glad that you got to go out there. I mean, we talked about, I think it was Greenwood Brewing.
Right.
Also woman-owned, and now we followed it up. And actually, I think this is the one that Mel told me about. My girlfriend told me about.
Yeah, that's it.
And I believe that she might even have ties to California somehow. So, but I'm kind of forgetting. But
so both the owner and the head brewer, they were born in Iowa, went to college in Arizona, moved to California, and then moved back to Arizona to do this.
Yeah, because I think they were in the beer scene out here, because I think she may have met them or ran across them when she was doing the craft beer promotions.
Right.
So there's a lot of people that have just, it's so funny. Like it's a big world, right? But it's a very small little society of brewers and stuff like that. So that's awesome. And this space looks outstanding. I can't wait.
It was so great. And like I went in with my family. We went and met Kevin because he was in town, and like, gosh dang, man, it was such a cool spot to just be there with a great friend and the family. Like they went out, Kevin and I, of course, couldn't stop holding each other and holding hands. So they got bored, and the wife and little buckaroo went outside and played bags and Jenga. And dude, my son got this awesome pink hat from there that just like so cool, man. It was such a great place. I loved it.
And I can add that Mrs. Durango, they also have cocktails, and I know she got a cocktail and that she very much enjoyed.
Yeah.
And meals were solid too. I know that Jack got a seared ahi salad, and that looked really good. I had a burger, which was great, and then Mrs. Durango had a blackened chicken salad. Blackened chicken salad. Thank you, Caesar salad. I can't even talk it. And so we were good. And I had that Infinity Coyote as well, and then. Something you would like, Michael, is they actually had I got a hoppy Pilsner because not normally what I would drink, but it's called Valley Essence. I got because it's actually a collaboration with Hop Secret up by where you are.
Oh, that's right. I did see that. And
I was Hop Secret. I had to try it because of that.
I wasn't aware that they were doing any collaborations with anybody. And then it just happens to be that one. So how cool is that?
Yeah, I'm like, I have to try this. I don't normally drink a hoppy Pilsner, but they only had one IPA and I already had it. So I was like, you know what? If I only get something else, let me go with this.
Yeah. How was it?
Good stuff. It was really good for a hoppy Pilsner. Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. And so the wheat beer, okay. So like just by name, I wouldn't think that I would like wheat beers, but I had to remember back. Actually, the thing that got me into craft beer was it was in the kind of like the middle 90s. Sam Adams put out a cherry wheat beer.
Ooh.
And I just happened to pick it up. It's like going, oh, that sounds really good. If it's at the worst, I just throw it out and get something else. But I was like, I'll try it. Oh my God. Like I was like, this is absolutely outstanding. And so like, I forgot that it was a wheat beer because back then I didn't know it was just beer to me. But I was like, okay. Then I remember back and then I haven't gotten any wheat beers in a long time. So it's like, when I had one recently and from good breweries as well, when you get them from here, they taste so much different and they're really good. I'm just like, this might be like a go-to. So even though wheats you would think that they wouldn't be very good. They're very good. They're very good.
It's not my favorite style, but you get it with a good, like I've had I think the orange wheat one from Hangar 24 is one that definitely you can find out here. And when I was looking at the citrus one for Jack, I'm like, you know what? He likes that little bit of sweetness or fruitiness with this hazy. So I'm like, you know what, this might be a good way to go out of what was out on the board that day.
Yeah.
Kevin was my beer sommelier, man. It was beautiful.
It was just beautiful to be with, Mr. Durango and meeting the family for the first time. They were staring in awe at me just as much as Jack was.
Well, yeah, you were a celebrate, and Cowboy Jack Durango. When you came home, Cowboy Jack Durango was more popular than you were. So,
we did talk about that. To tell the story, I went back to work this morning, and two of the girls I work with who were at our Radiant taping said, "Oh, Kevin, how's Cowboy Jack?" And I'm like, "Oh, hi, good to see you too."
Dude. Tell him I'm off the market, dude. Tell him.
I did tell him that. Sorry. I'm always here, though.
Yes. Awesome. Well, Kevin, I'm going to actually go with you because you picked up a beer out there. This is from Gilbert, Arizona.
So if you are on social media, I actually went out to a thing called Innings Fest. It's a music fest that has some baseball stuff tied in. And it's the first weekend of spring training this year. Got to see Green Day, Weezer, Offspring, Eddie Vedder, Marcus Mumford over the 2 days, and really good time. And also I only got to do a little bit of baseball stuff briefly, but they had got to see Eddie Vedder and Randy Johnson talk some baseball, and Randy me a fabulous photographer. And while I was there, I was like, I got to get a beer somehow to go. And everything 100 Mile was crowlers, so I didn't want to take a chance on bringing that back, and not because usually only have like a 2-day shelf life. So I literally was going back to our house I was staying at, walked into a liquor store, and I'm just like, I gotta find something local. And I saw this, and there's a brewery called Flying Basset Brewing. They're a locally, independently owned and operated brewery and taproom situated right off the canal between downtown Gilbert and downtown Chandler. And of course, because look at the logo here, they do have a dog-friendly patio as well. You have to have that with that. So, Jack, where is Gilbert?
Gilbert is that way, dude.
Really no.
It is southeast of Phoenix.
Okay. Right. Would it be on the way to Tucson or different, like a little?
No, it's out of the way for Tucson. It's on the way to Queen Creek, which is a town I spoke of 2 episodes ago.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I gotcha. Okay. First of all, I don't know.
So if you're going south from Phoenix to Tucson, right? Mm-hmm. It's straight shot south.
Straight shot down the
right. But if you were to like drive from Phoenix to New Mexico straight, you would go through Gilbert.
Okay.
Gotcha. It's like that 45-degree angle. Like,
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But this is a brewery that I never heard of. Neither one of these guys ever heard of. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just grab this.
Yeah.
And, they do have a couple beers that are themed. Like they have one called Top Dog, 747 Heavy, which is an Imperial IPA. One I thought Jack would like because it's a hazy. It's called Intergalactic, quote, not so hazy boy. So I was like, I didn't know that's supposed to be like a Beastie Boys thing or what, but it was a good sounding hazy, 7.1%, and is a medium to full body hazy packed with Ella, Enigma, Vic's Secret, and Galaxy hops. So I was like, and they actually fermented it a bit higher, dry hopped it with some more juice forward hops, and fluffed up with a big addition of oats in the mash. See, I'm putting this over for you, Jack. You're gonna have to look this one up.
Yeah,
it's called like I said, Intergalactic Not So Hazy Boys. And I've been reading that going, man, this sounds like Jack's kind of beer.
That's right up my alley. Yeah,
exactly. So, but then this one I saw, like I said, I'd never even heard these guys. This is called Klingon. It's a straight up American IPA, 6.8%, 70 IBU. So definitely not for your average IPA drinker. And it's a bitter, moderately strong American IPA that uses its clean supporting malt to showcase its hop character. So it's just a good, solid, clean IPA. Definitely enjoy it if you like, good IPA. And this was brewed using a blend of two-row and light Munich specialty malts, bittered and dry hopped with a blend of Centennial, Citra, CTZ, and Simcoe hops. And I like their logo here, where craft beer takes flight, to go with the name.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So good little find there.
My brother says Gilbert's an HOA wine and PTA type town. So that's about the
Is there a team that plays out there during spring training?
Well, I mean, the closest, I don't think it's
Chandler,
Gilbert,
right?
it's Mesa. Well, Chandler.
The Cubbies are the closest.
Cubbies are
okay. I thought like the Brewers were in Chandler, but don't quote me on that.
They used to be in the 80s.
Okay. Oh, gosh, that's what.
Compadre Stadium, but I don't think that's there anymore.
Yeah, after they left Yuma.
Back
in the day, back when I used to go.
Now they're in Phoenix or Maryville. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for bringing a new one. This is good. Definitely.
Billy Jack Seat
for sure.
Billy Jack Seat doing an Arizona brewery.
Yeah. Next time I pass by there, I'll swing in and grab one of those.
Yeah. Oh, Jack. Ooh,
yes.
Jack, look at this one.
So this is Hazy AF, a New England hazy IPA by Hermosa Brewing Company. This is 6.2 ABV, 60 IBU. New England style IPA packed with the fruitiest hops and a touch of oats to smooth it all out. Flavors of tropical, white peaches, and tangerines. There's Citra, Mosaic, and Azaka hops. AZACCA. Azaka. Is Hermosa Beach, Kevin? Where is Hermosa Beach? Would that be where this is at?
I would assume that. And Hermosa Beach is, I think, somewhere around like the Manhattan Beach, Marina Del Rey area, somewhere in the South Bay, if I'm remembering correctly. And I'm like, don't let me blow this, right?
It's in Torrance.
Oh, okay. Well, geez. So I mean, you would go a little bit further west to get where Hermosa Beach is. Then
okay.
I would say it's like a little bit further west, obviously by the water. I was thinking more Manhattan Beach area because that's around that part as well.
Yeah, and this is, in California, if you're in LA, so if you're or anywhere surrounding it, so Kevin, you're in like Anaheim area.
Yes.
So even for you, getting to that area is super tough. It's a day trip basically. It's
without traffic, it would be like probably 45 minutes to an hour. I'll have to punch in the address to tell you because
exactly.
Mrs. Durango is asking about, oh, hey, can you how far is Venice from you? And I said, without traffic, 45 minutes, most of the time, half. You know?
Yeah.
It's fire.
Yeah. You never
I
know.
love our Australian friend is giving us that info right away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's smack dab in between Redondo and Manhattan Beach.
Yeah. I was thinking, I
So
was like, you put me on the spot, and I'm like, isn't it right there?
yeah, I mean, getting there is half the battle. Parking is the other battle.
Yeah.
And then you exactly. It's
everywhere.
right next to the beach. Everybody's there, and it's great and everything, but the traffic around it is tough. But that's one of the reasons why we don't get to this area very often, because and then there's a lot of great breweries down there. So whenever we're down there, we definitely take advantage of it. And I mean, we talk about this place all the time. There's a pizza place and El Segundo Brewing all in the same place. And I think it was pre-COVID we were talking about getting down there. That sounds like an amazing place. So we definitely want to get down there. I have not had this beer yet. So
okay.
So
I talk about, I can jokingly say that right now, if I went over there, it would take me 42 minutes to get there, and it's 30 miles away. So that's actually not too bad. Not too bad. Be a straight shot, just by the water, a little bit north, like northwest of Torrance.
Yeah.
If you ain't on your way there, there's plenty of great breweries you can stop by in Torrance as well, you know.
Exactly.
Although I can go to Monkish in Torrance, but I can go to Monkish, you know.
Right, there's Monkish right down the
oh
my gosh, like Monkish. We need to get back there pretty soon.
It's all right.
So those are the beers that we're having on this edition.
Wait! You didn't say how your beer is. Now that you took a sip.
I didn't. Okay, so right here. So off the nose, it's super juicy right away. So it's like that orange juice type of
juice.
Definitely. So
look out.
Yeah. So white peaches and tangerines, I can definitely taste that. It's super fruity hops. So when we're talking about the cherry wheat beer, you know, that being really fruity and everything, these are super fruity, but also very, very hoppy in a different way, in more of a West Coast IPA way. So
nice.
Definitely. It's got a lot of like mouthfeel to it. It's oh my gosh, like super good. So definitely check out Hermosa Brewing Company. I was not aware of them until I got this. So it's
now, where'd you find that at the bottle shop by you?
Yeah. I just and they just have rotating things in there, so always pick up something that looks interesting. And this one, hazy AF, and that's exactly what it is.
I love it, dude. I'm gonna keep an eye out for that.
Good stuff.
Or you can ask me to look for something. I can deliver it along with me.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'll put my people on it, Kevin.
Yep. Thanks.
Chop. All right, so this is this day in baseball history for February 28th, the last day of February. Yes, baseball history does exist. February 28th, 1966, refusing to report to spring training, Dodgers pitchers Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale begin their joint holdout, asking for $1 million, a 3-year contract, to be divided equally between them, which is very, very interesting. So let me back up on that one. So a 3-year contract for $1 million that they wanted to split. The deal, equivalent to an annual salary of $167,000 for each pitcher, will make them the highest paid, or make them the best paid baseball players, easily surpassing Willie Mays' $125,000 yearly paycheck with the Giants. So this was actually almost like the beginning of players starting to kind of ask for these salaries, get more involved. Eventually the Curt Flood basically refusing to be traded. And so there was a lot. This was a kind of a very pivotal point in baseball salary history. And Jack, I know that you did some research on this.
Yeah. No. So in today's dollars, it was 1.05 million. So in today's dollars, you're roughly looking at $9,279,810. So that divided into these guys are going to be taking home like 4.7 a piece in today's money over 3 years. And what I love is that they good brothered together and they took a stand together and like, dude, starting to let the oppressors know, man, like we are the ones that are doing this. I mean, this is
we're making millions.
Right. This is before a players union, which we can all talk about the pros and cons of players unions all day. But I mean, just as somebody had to be that first one to make that step, and like, this is a huge part of that.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a big time. And actually both of these players at the time were pretty big celebrities at the time too. And it would have definitely looked bad. And I can't remember what they were in the World Series, Kevin, during these years.
At least once or twice. I want to say they won the World Series in 65. I'd have to look it up really quick. But one thing is too, I think this might be his last season too. I think that Sandy retired after this year, if I remember right.
Yeah. And at 30, it's something crazy like that, right?
He had like an arm issue, and it's like, no, I'm done. It's like, all right, well, and oh goodness gracious, yeah, they had just won the World Series in 65.
Right, so a lot of leverage there.
Yeah, absolutely. Good for them, man. Good for them.
Yeah,
and they won in 63. So you have like two right there, and even in this year in 66, they made the World Series, but they lost to the Orioles. But still, 3 World Series in in like a 4-year stretch. That's pretty amazing. And those two are probably arguably the biggest part of it for sure.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays in the playoffs, if you want to make it, you need at least 2 fantastic starting pitchers to get there.
Yeah. They beat the Yankees in 65.
The Twins.
Are the Twins? Okay. Wait a minute.
63 is when they beat the Yankees, I believe.
63 is when they beat that. Yeah. Cause I remember that
63.
That Mickey Mantle, when he hit that home run in game 1, but then, but they wound up beating him.
Mm-hmm. Right. I love that picture too. Like Don Drysdale looks like, what is he going to do to that ball? My gosh, he just has such a vendetta against that ball. It's like, oh my goodness.
That's always a funny thing. Whenever they have pictures from like the 50s and 60s, probably even earlier, but they always like look at the ball like, oh wow, this is
cheers to Sandy Koufax, still around, 87 years old, and yes, he did finish up after the 66 season.
Yes.
So
I can just say that they're probably comparing grips. That's what I take from this one.
Yes. I was hoping you were ready with a Don Drysdale photo in his future acting career.
No, we've done that a lot, and I believe Don Drysdale was the inspiration for Herbie the Love Bug. His number on there. So
because it's his number. Yeah, that's right. It was his number.
And if you're a longtime watcher, you would have learned that on the very early edition of the podcast.
And wasn't he on the Brady Bunch?
He was on the Brady Bunch.
There you go. All right.
He was. February 28th, 1975, the Mets purchased slugger Dave Kingman from the Giants. San Francisco drafted the 26-year-old first baseman outfielder as the team's pick in the initial round of the secondary phase of the 1970 amateur draft. So who could Dave Kingman? I was going to ask a poll of who he was be compared to today, and I actually have a player in mind that I call him the modern day Dave Kingman. Does anybody in the chat want to?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah, if you know who I'm talking about, it's like a player that plays today that could be compared to Dave Kingman. And
I'm totally spacing on the guy's name right now. Oh, really? Okay. I can't believe I'm spacing the guy's name. I'm like, I know what teams he's played on, but I'm like,
yes.
Oh my gosh,
I've had him on fantasy baseball, and I refuse to draft him or have him on my team ever again because he's
on the dude's name.
Yes, for every 1 home run, he has about 9 strikeouts. I'll say. Yes. I'll say 9.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got it now. I had the first name in my head, but I had a different last name. Like, okay, now it's in there.
Yeah,
when you have 150 years of baseball in your head,
there's this great
like Dave King Kong Kingman here.
Yes, King Kong, and that's.
I mean, is he wearing eyeliner? Is he wearing like mascara or something? What's going on with his eyes in this?
Yeah, his lashes are on point, bro.
Like what?
Ian's going with Joey Votto. No, I'm talking about. I'm talking about like a pure home run hitter. Like it's either home run, walk, or 8 strikeouts.
I mean, I can say something, but that's who first came to my head, but I didn't mean that, Joey.
Yes. You're close with Joey, and it would be Joey Gallo. He's a very comparable to him. Although I don't think he's on the home run pace that Kingman was. Kingman hit
like over 400 home runs, right?
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, and
I think it's somewhere in like 440 or something like that.
yeah,
let me test my Rain Man knowledge.
That's amazing if you get even close. But
I'm sure I'm pretty close on that. But
that's a pretty good comparison to Joey Gallo.
And he's one of those guys who, you automatically say, "Oh, he had a lot of home runs, go in the Hall of Fame," but no, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, totally.
Why can't I see home? Of course, when I just do a Google search, it lists all his years, doesn't list home runs. Like that's the one category we want to know. 442. I was too off.
Wow. You're sick in the head, dude.
Yeah,
I know. So here's some of his nicknames, Jack. Kong, King Kong, and Sky King. I like Sky King.
Sky King.
Yeah, and
like he's a junior.
Exactly. 442 for home runs, 1,210 RBIs, and 16 seasons, 3-time All-Star.
Yes.
So there's at least some people who are like, oh, he's considered for Hall of Fame. But then if you look at his batting average, I'm sure it's
batting average, strikeouts. He was feast or famine, but he was also a guy in the era of like strikeouts.
236 lifetime batting average. That's still like 30 points ahead of Joey Gallo.
Yeah.
Probably.
And he didn't have the glove and everything, and playing the field to get in. So a great player, a super awesome.
He was the modern day player.
Yes, feast or famine. Yes, that's actually very true. He's very of today for sure.
No. But who's the fantasy player that you won't have on your fantasy team?
He said Joey Gallo.
Joey Gallo.
Joey Gallo. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know where he went to because he had to go to the Dodgers, right?
Yeah, he was on the Dodgers, but I think that he's with. I want to say, oh my gosh, Minnesota.
Hashtag do the research. Hopefully, I can beat anybody in the chat.
I got a little bit of time.
I see the Twins.
Yeah, I thought he went with Minnesota.
Yeah,
I got a little bit of time to look into Dave Kingman, and the one thing I said that he was injury prone and very temperamental.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and striking out a lot. I'm sure
Yeah, he was definitely one of those players they call feast or famine. He was he was just one of those types of players.
You don't play that long without being a pretty solid player,
Yes,
you drop some bombs as Reggie says around the show.
So yes, Ian confirms that with the Twins.
That's right. That's his team. There you go. Or one of his team. Well, probably his wife's team more than his.
Yes.
But the Giants, there you go. That's Ian's team.
That's it. So you were talking about nicknames. Well, this is a good nickname. We're gonna go down a rabbit hole with this one.
All right.
February 28th, 1985, Rick Russell signs a free agent a deal with the Pirates, spending his first 2 months in the minors. That's very interesting because he was actually he had played with the Cubs before this for a long time. But after being called up in May, Big Daddy will win 14 games and be named the National League's Comeback Player of the Year by the Sporting News. So I had remembered that his name was Big Daddy, and then it got me thinking about some other Big Daddy. So let's look at why he was called Big Daddy. As you can see, he's a big boy. He's a big man, and he's
a big daddy, not a big boy, right?
And he's actually very durable. He reminds me. There's a guy who pitches today. His name is Lance Lynn. He reminds me a lot of him. Just a durable guy that'll go out and get you like 14 or 15 wins, 30 starts.
Good cop from an 80s movie.
Yes, who moonlights as a pitcher.
Right, and he's like drinking too much beer at his kid's little league game and gets in a fight with the umpire. And his boss is like, "You're off the force, McGonagall." Yeah, dude, that's a weird looking guy.
You're flying too close to the sun. Slow it down. Well, we're talking about Big Daddy. Kevin, I'm going to go with MMA right here. You know more about this Big Daddy.
So this guy just shows up in the UFC. And he beats up this guy. He locks his arms up in a crucifix. And Gary Big Daddy Goodrich just starts going like this. Just L-ing the hell out of this dude. Looks like he just killed the guy. And everyone's just like losing their mind in the audience. He's like, "That's right, Big Daddy's bringing home the bacon." Me and my friends were watching this live. We were like losing our minds, like this guy is fantastic.
That's awesome.
And he was not a great fighter because he is one of those guys who more or less is just like he's a tough dude. Let's just put him in there. This is back before like you have guys train in so many different martial art disciplines nowadays in MMA. But he was just a great
this was
character.
like during the chemo days.
Yes, a little bit around that time frame. They might have fought for all I know, but he ended up getting exposed a little bit because he tried some more training later. But man, last I knew he wasn't doing very well. A lot of concussions, a lot of getting beaten up, and that happens to a lot of older fighters as they go too.
Wow.
But he had some success in UFC and in Pride and in Japan. So, I was happy he did that. Going, cheers to Big Daddy.
Yes. Awesome. Well, we're not done yet. We got to go with Big Daddy V.
Big Daddy V, dude. I'm so glad that you mentioned him. I have a Big Daddy V story.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow, really?
Let's do it.
Yes. I was on tour with Big Daddy V in Korea for 2 weeks, and Big Daddy V is a big boy. Like, not only is he a big boy, he's also like 8 feet tall. So he's a very large man. So he got his own personal little party bus to drive him to the shows. And if you get in good with him, you got to sit on the bus with him, bro. And you got to stretch out and have plenty of room. Super kind, super generous dude. Like, he was a lot of fun, man.
So wait a second. Did the Valley of the Sun's favorite son get on that party bus?
Come on, dude. I'm a baby face. You know I did. I'm a worker, baby. I know what I'm doing.
But wait, were you actually a baby face in that tour of Korea?
Negative, sir. Negative.
Okay. All right. Oh, sorry. You're a baby face to the boys. That's all that matters.
Yes.
That's it. And he was also known as Viscera, Mabel, King Mabel. He was in Men on a Mission. But actually, I would say arguably, he was not the biggest Big Daddy in wrestling. That would be Big Daddy Shirley Crabtree Jr. And by the way, on the left there it says Bic Daddy. So
hey, come on. You figure he's busy. He doesn't have time to get off the road to fix his onesie.
That's it, exactly. So this is a very deep cut if you're into British wrestling. And
I love who's punching there is named Giant Haystacks, if I remember right.
That's right. And he was in WCW at the on Nitro as Loch Ness.
I forgot because he's from like Scotland or something.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, wrestling. But this guy actually was like a really famous person and over there in the UK for like a good 7 or 8 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Huge star for a bit.
Yeah.
It did help that his brother was the promoter, but
but he was over, bro. Like, if you know how to get over, you can get over, dude.
Easy.
Very popular. Very popular guy.
Yeah, the whole thing is apparently he was really popular with the kids, and apparently if you're a kid, just don't meet him after the show. Apparently was not as nice to the kids after the show. Kayfabe.
Exactly. Well, we can't go with the Big Daddies without mentioning Big Daddy. And yes, pimping ain't easy. And Big Daddy Kane was awesome. I liked him a lot. Super smooth flow. For all you youngsters out there who don't know him, check him out. He was super awesome. But for you youngsters, you might know this Big Daddy from BioShock. I'm getting credibility now with the kids.
Yes. Kevin's over there like, get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn, BioShock.
Like, get off my podcast.
That's right. Who are you, Big Daddy?
Yes, but I'll throw it back here to this movie is now 24 years old, so I have to mention this one, but I'm not going to mention this and go into this because we all know about this, but you don't know about this. There was actually a Big Daddy movie in 1969.
Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, dude, we got some resemblance going on, brother.
Oh man, love it.
So this Big Daddy movie starred character actor Victor Buono in 1969, as I mentioned. Okay, and I want to mention this. This is seriously the plot of the movie. Okay, ready? A man visiting the Florida Everglades falls for an illiterate girl and competes with the mysterious A. Lincoln Beauregard, who is Victor Buono, for her affections. He also encounters vicious alligators and a voodoo witch doctor. That is the summation of this movie.
I gotta watch this movie. Yeah, we have to watch this and review it, right?
Yes.
Oh
yes,
my gosh.
dude, we have to watch this together.
Okay, so Jack, you resemble this man, but he was actually in movies with Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. This is 4 for Texas, and there's a very, very weird episode of the 60s Batman.
He's King Tut!
He's King Tut.
Sorry, I just lost my mind. Sorry. Oh my God. Sorry, I just lost my God. Oh my God.
Bro.
Yes. And that's why I'm here to pop Kevin.
Thank you. Sorry. I gotta relax after that one. Oh, dude. Wait for that. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Thank you.
Dude, check the blood pressure, baby. Check the blood pressure.
That just killed me for a second there.
Yes. All right. Oh, so let's wind down a little bit. I'm going to wind down with these 2 stories, which are very similar in nature, but fun nonetheless. Right. February 28th, 1986, Joaquin Andujar, Dale Berra, the son of Yogi Berra, Enos Cabell, Keith Hernandez, Jeffrey Leonard, Dave Cobra Parker, and Lonnie Smith, known as the Cocaine 7, are severely disciplined for their prolonged pattern of drug use and the distribution of drugs to others in the sport. Commissioner Peter Uberoth drops their season-long suspension after they agree to donate 10% of their base salaries to drug-related community service in the city they played, submit to random drug testing, and do 100 hours of community service.
Okay, wait a minute. You're telling me the one Met who got busted for cocaine was Keith Hernandez? Come on. There's some chicanery here.
I think there's a little bit of, there's
man. You know what? Keith Hernandez is a good brother. He took one for the team there. I would say about, well, you know what? Everybody, I think he might be the only guy on the 86 Mets who didn't do cocaine. I bet you Davey Johnson was doing cocaine probably.
Yeah.
But the amount of cocaine that he did made him not use cocaine, like comparatively to the other members of the team.
I mean,
they were just like, "Oh, dude, yeah, he's a rookie, dude." Like,
you just gotta check that mustache. He's a little gray in there, you know.
Yeah.
So 4 years later,
on
February 28th, 2000.
14 years later, sir. You said 4.
Sorry, 14 years later. 14 years later, baseball suspends Yankee outfielder DH Darryl Strawberry for 1 year after his positive test for cocaine in January. Commissioner Bug Selig does not make any provision for an early return to the 8-year All-Star, 8-time All-Star game from the suspension based on good behavior. Now, that sentence is garbled only because that's the way it was written, but I'm going to tell you the real story of what happened. So Strawberry was set to return to the Yankees in 2000, but after testing positive for cocaine in February while attending spring training, Strawberry was ordered to leave the team while waiting for Commissioner Bud Selig to make a decision on possible suspension. 6 days after the news of a positive test broke, Selig announced that Strawberry would be suspended for the entire 2000 season, effectively ending his career. So before this, in 98, he had 24 home runs. He helped the Yankees to win a World Series, playing 100 games, first time since 1991. But he started suffering abdominal pain for about 2 months, which he did not disclose to his teammates or the staff. And it turns out he had colon cancer. And I totally forgot about that.
Oh, wow. I don't even know. Oh.
Yeah, and then he made a comeback in '99 after that. So after all that, they come back, and then he did cocaine and got suspended, and then he was out of baseball.
And Keith Hernandez took one for him in '86, and look what
happened. Yes, he did. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Straw was using a straw. Well, maybe not a straw, but in '86, it's very possible.
Well, if Reggie Jackson is a straw that stirs the drink, what is strawberry straw?
Oh, my goodness.
So that is baseball history on February 28th.
Amazing job, dude. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, this is another fun segment that we have that Kevin does now on exclusively on our podcast. This is Pint and Packs. And Kevin, what do you have today?
All right. So last time we did this, I had one of these rack packs, and it's spelled RAKPAK. I guess, Topps was so fancy. They wanted to get their want to get their copyrighted. This is what we used to call a hanger pack back in the day. You know what I mean? Where you can look and see what's on the front and what's on the back. So you definitely, if you went to card shows at certain points of your life, even now, if you see a pack with somebody on it who's worthwhile, you're going to be paying a little extra for it. So this one is from 1988. 42 picture cards plus one special, which I'll show you the special in a second. And let me see if there's anything else I want to add here. No, let's just get to it here. So the insert here, just like the other one I opened in the past. Sorry, this is that. Gosh. It's an all-star card. So there's 22 of these. So you'd have to buy 22 of these and just look and hope you can find the player that you need. And ironically enough, the last time I did this when I opened 87 was 86. I'm sorry, I jumped 2 years ahead. In 86, the all-star card I got was Ozzie Smith. And here he is again. There you go. One of your favorite players and friend of the show, by the way, Ozzie Smith.
Yes.
So in this set, this set had a lot to follow because 87 Topps is arguably maybe the most famous card set of that period for sure, because that was like the peak of 80s cards. And so many of these are printed. These cards are not very well opened here. And he said good centering, and I'm like, you know what? Wait till you see some of these other cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because there was so many of these produced, like you literally could look at ads and see how you could buy like 1,000 of a card.
Really?
From, like card shops. Yeah. I've never seen that in like magazines and stuff. Like you can buy 1,000 of this Kelly Downs right here. You buy 1,000 of these for like 5 cents a pop or something like that. Yeah. And you would hope you're going to get, and people thought they were like, I mean, me too, but I didn't get as crazy on it. Oh my gosh, I'm going to make so much money in 20 years in these, but they're so massively produced. Yeah. You're not going to find much nowadays. I think the most heralded rookie in this set would be Tom Glavine. So if you get, and then otherwise it would just be like great stars that time period, like the Nolan Ryans, the Don Mattingly, people like that. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Bo Jackson, possibly Canseco, guys like that. And you'd have to send it to PSA and have to be a perfect 10 in order to really get any value. So here's the design of it here. That's Kelly Downs. That definitely looks like a Candlestick Park. And here's the back of this. There was like 790 something cards in this set.
Right.
It's crazy. Think about that. And unfortunately for me, usually I like to find fun facts, and some of these will, but there's also on the back of this, it says, this way to the clubhouse. And it'll say like how Kelly Downs, in this case, got the Giants, like traded the Giants with George Riley for Al Oliver. I'm like, okay.
Sure.
All right. So it's going to do that. And I'm hoping to get a fun fact on some of these players as well. Here's a guy I don't remember on the A's as much. Was he on the Blue Jays? Tony Bernazar?
Yes, he was.
Sox.
Yes.
White Sox, Indians, Expos, A's. Oh, so maybe I'm thinking the White Sox. He was like second base. But that's one thing too. Look at this, he can give his position on the front.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's
back,
yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, so second base, definitely grizzled vet. And he's got the stash, he's got the beautiful, the things under his that sunblock under his eyes. I don't know what they actually call that. All right, let's see if we get a fun fact here. Tony led AA, not Alcoholics Anonymous, Cowboy Jackson. Right. This would be the American Association. Which how many people who got this card in 1988?
Or is it double A? Is it double A?
No, I'll tell you why it's AA.
Oh, gotcha.
This is me being Rain Man. So it's American Association because it says with 107 runs scored at Denver in 1978. And as far as I know, Denver was the AAA team in the American Association. The Zephyrs. That's what I want to say. Although I thought they're in the Pacific Coast League. So who knows? Hashtag do the research, right?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
Sure.
We got a lot of cards to go through here. So let's just get moving here.
Yeah, let's go.
We got T-Rex. Ken Herbeck,
right.
a man who could have easily been a professional wrestler here.
That's
He
right.
definitely was loving the wrestling. And Minnesota was obviously a good wrestling area. Let's see here. Well, Kent was named as California League MVP in 1981. And I love that it says what scouts signed him, and we don't care about that. We care about more fun. No, we don't have time for that. Rihanna, calm down. It's not that Chris Brown. It's this Chris Brown on the Padres.
Yikes, dude. Yikes.
Wow.
Third baseman with
calm down, you said.
Wow.
Was on the Giants. That's how I remember him being on the Giants here. I'm just gonna keep going. For that one. Yeah, these actually held up pretty well, and this is a little bit off-centered, but and it just gives his stats in minor league games. We don't care about that. We're looking for some more fun facts than that. I don't know who this is. Why don't you tell me who this is? Who's Bob Rogers, Michael Mondragon?
The manager of the Expos, of course.
Yeah, but I don't know him as Bob. What do you know him as?
Oh, Buck Rogers?
Yes, Buck is his nickname. I'm mad that it says Bob Rogers,
right.
not Buck Rogers, as it should.
He also had a very good space. He was also he was in the comic books, space exploration. Buck Rogers in the 21st century.
Well, I don't know who is Gil Gerard still alive, because I don't believe Buck Rogers is.
No.
You know what? But this man was a local man. He lived in Yorba Linda. I don't know. I highly doubt he's still alive, but there's the back of it. So on the back of these manager cards is actually the team checklist. We'll see if I actually get a checklist, because that's definitely still a thing in 1988 Tops. Ooh, we got a man who's definitely more famous now for his work on ESPN. And look how serious he is here with that 80s facial hair. That is Rick Sutcliffe. I love that.
Right.
I love it.
Stud
And you
muffin,
got,
dude.
yeah, and you got to love too that the lining on the outside lining on the cards actually matches like the team colors too. That's a really nice little touch there. And the writing for the Cubs there. So of all the things about Rick Sutcliffe, here's what I have for you, Michael and Jack. He led Waterbury with 10 wins and 121 strikeouts in 1976.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, Gil Gerard's still around. What about Aaron Gray?
Yeah. Thank you. I'll bet you a six-pack Aaron Gray's still alive. There's a really deep cut for you, Michael Mondragon. Yes. No one's going to know what I'm talking about there.
I like you're on silver spoons. Go ahead, please, Kevin.
Hey, I like your six-pack, all right? Let me go on here. A man who is so fast, Barry Bonds could not throw him out in 1991.
Oh, the speed merchant, Sid Bream.
Yes, going Sid Bream at you. Yes, there's a Pirate here, but I'm talking about his time as a Brave. He was also a Dodger first baseman here. This is all minor leagues on the back here. How about this? Said led the PCL, that would be the Pacific Coast League, with 118 RBIs at Albuquerque in 1983. Great.
Wow.
I want some fun facts. Hey, here's a man I think did you go see him with me last year? Oh, I don't think you did, but this guy is now a manager. He was managing when I saw him with the Brilliant Bees managing, and now he's managing the Locals Angel affiliate, the Inland Empire 66ers. Yes. This is it Captain Jack? I think it's his nickname. Captain Jack Howell also played in Japan. That's where he got that nickname. And again, had a .313 batting average in 279 minor league games. All right.
Yes.
Oh, I'm glad to know Aaron Gray's still going. All right. I doubt this guy's still going. This is a guy I never heard of named Tracy Jones, outfielder for the Reds.
Tracy.
But look at that
Tracy
weird
Jones.
color scheme. Look at that color scheme. That's really weird. Like, I have all these ones that match the colors, and I'm like, whoa, never mind what I just said.
Let's just do blue.
Yeah. And hey, you know what? He had a .304 batting average in the minor leagues.
Okay.
Who is the guy? Did I do this? I would have done this. I would just
Kevin's
minor league
305 in the minors.
I think he named players that I don't remember with, oh my gosh. Do you think Dodgers think purple? Brad Haven's a pitcher here.
Yeah.
And I keep laughing. Brad has 2.61 ERA and 169 innings and led the International League of 169 strikeouts at Toledo in 1984. That definitely sounds like I wrote the back of that card for sure. All right. If the best picture you can get of Gary Pettis is this, as he's side-eyeing you, here you go. Gary Pettis gives the best side-eye to me and the other guys in the panel. I'll side-eye
Gary, look this way. Look this way. No, you wouldn't do it.
He's a starting center fielder for the Angels in the late 80s. And hey, of course, he led the PCL, Pacific Coast League, 53 stolen bases at Spokane in 1982.
Nice. PCL. Remember the PCL. We'll be talking about that a little bit later.
All right. Yes, there you go. And here we go. He's a Pirate here, but you know him best as a Cardinal, Mr.
That's
Mondragon.
right.
Heck of a ball player in the 80s here. You know what? I'm done reading this minor league stuff. I'm just going to keep going here. All right. Oh, no. He's throwing his emery board again. Look out. Here's Joe Niekro.
Joe Niekro.
You know, you can't see that it's a ball or emery board in his hand. That's why I love this photo. And you want to talk about grizzled vet, Cowboy Jack? Look at that. Look at that.
That's 1 point type right there.
So much.
Yeah. Joe Niekro didn't get patted down by the referee before that match in 86.
Mind you, I'm a third of the way done, so I'm going to start speeding it up here. This is Governor Jerry Brown. I'm sorry. No one's going to know that except for you. But this is Jerry Brown, second baseman on the Rangers.
Yes.
And, hey, I finally got something different. He was a 1983 graduate of Central High School in Kings Hill, VI. What the heck is VI?
Virgin Islands.
Ah, good job. You're right. He was born in the Virgin Islands. I was like, all right.
Is Joe Niekro the inspiration for Eddie Harris in Major League?
Oh, 100%.
It's probably a combination of him, Phil Niekro,
him and Gaylord Perry. He had the Vaseline on his chest, and on the emery board is all.
Yes.
Kind of
okay. All right. Dude, all right.
We haven't any Brewers yet, so I'm taking a sip-ski break. This is not really beer, so
where's the Brewers? Come on.
I know. I'm only a third of the way in here. I got to get some Brewers. You know, but you know about a guy who definitely drank some beers probably when he played baseball. This is first baseman Steve Balboni.
Oh, yes.
Look at that beefy man. Woo. Let's see. Yes. I'm not going to read his minor league stats, but I'll read that he is 6'3", 225. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Maybe dude, 325.
Dude, he looks like the leader of a Toronto motorcycle gang. Like
Toronto. So specific.
And maybe this, you know what? My next car might be a man who's in that gang of him. This is a picture for the Indians named Rich Yet. Look at that.
Wow.
Picture.
Wow.
Like that guy's definitely was up to no good at some point in his life. I don't know. He looks innocent there. You know, that's probably taken in Tucson. And gosh, can I just get something besides? He's born in Pomona and his home is Chino, California. Oh, that tells you all I need to know about this guy.
Not a good sign, dude. That's not a good sign.
Not a good sign. So something that was still stylish in 1988 was wearing your glasses as you're batting. Here's Jerry Hairston. There you go. Look at that. Those glasses. Look at that Chicago warm-up jersey. That's some good stuff. And look at
his son played baseball.
Yes, Jerry Hairston Jr. That's right.
Yeah.
I love that they changed the White Sox cap there. So that's they've always had really cool uniforms. Yeah, and pretty grizzled too if you have all those lines there. And mind you, it's all at the White Sox except for this is weird. Oh, this is interesting. So he played in the White Sox for like 5 years. And he ended up on the Pirates, and then he actually was out of the major leagues for like 3-4 years. And he went back to the White Sox.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why there's a gap in there. Maybe # do the research.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to keep that facial hair going here with a good old Carney Lansford on the A's.
Yes.
You know, they definitely, had a good run with the Angels and the Red Sox. Yeah, I can just name this stuff off the top.
Yeah.
It's scary. And, of course, he's a great hitter in the minor leagues. But he actually is a really consistent, about 300
he's good, really good player.
Yeah. I don't know why the Angels are all side-eyeing people, but, I don't know. Gus Polidor is definitely judging somebody in this picture here. There's Gus Polidor.
He was like, dude, I can't believe he wore that outfit to the ballpark, dude. Like, he looks so mean girl in that picture.
You know what, Jack? I'm sorry, it's me. I was wearing nut hugger shorts and standing next to that day. I'm sorry.
Wow, dude.
And tank top.
You know what somebody's saying to him? They're just like, "You're not going to be there for long," and he goes, "Well, what?"
And mind you, it took him 5 years to make the major leagues. And I only remember because I'm an Angels fan, but he was like a backup infielder for sure.
Yep.
All right, let's see here. Oh, goodness. This is a guy I would not want to cross the dark alley. There's a guy named Bob James. Look at this guy. That guy looks like someone you don't want to mess with.
Wow.
He's in that biker gang, Cowboy Jack.
Yes,
Yeah, dude.
exactly.
That's the guy that's best friends with Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport.
Oh, it's oh gosh, what was the name of it? It's Ogre from Revenge of the
Ogre,
Nerds, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. From Revenge of the Nerds.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Jackson
He was
from
also in
Bloodsport.
Best of the Best.
Yes.
Oh, Best of the Best
Yes.
2. Sorry. Best of the Best
Well,
2.
2. All right. Well, yeah. All right. Don't worry. No one's going to know.
No one's going to know.
We're live, right?
Love Best of the Best, dude.
Yeah, okay. All right. But most of these must be taken spring training or something because I love these little warm-up jerseys. Not the jerseys. This is a picture named Steve Shields.
Yeah.
On the Mariners here. It's like, hang on, I got my pose. Let me get ready for a big wind up, and you can see if I have any BO, and it looks like he's okay.
Right,
so that's good. That's good. All right. This is what I mean. This is not great, but at least it's not minor league. Here we go. This is the kind of stuff I would look for originally. Steve was a 1977 graduate of Oaks Bluff, Alabama High School, where he lettered in baseball, football, and basketball. He and his wife have a son, Tyler. So look out for Tyler Shields out there. All right?
Be on the lookout.
Be on the lookout. Holy cow.
All right, here we got. Man, I remember this guy looking so mean. This is Jay Bell, a pretty solid shortstop for a decade. I remember him with the Pirates as well, right? Later.
Yeah.
Right? You remember him, Michael?
Jay Bell, yes.
Yeah. And the best I got is an 84 graduate of Tate High School in Gonzales, Florida. Florida, you got to watch out for him too, apparently. Watch out. Watch out for those Florida guys. Sorry, no offense. Anyone from Florida. All right. Ooh, man. This guy means business at the plate. This is Daryl Boston. He was actually a pretty good player for a while there.
Yeah.
You'd be like a leadoff speedster kind of player, if I remember right.
If I'm not mistaken, he did play for Boston.
Yeah, I want to say he did too. I mean, at this point, he'd only played with the White Sox.
Yeah.
But I want to say you're right. All right, here we go. Not senior. This is Ozzie Virgil Jr., Michael Mondragon. I know you appreciate the Ozzie Virgil spot. But I love that photo. That's one of the best photos I've seen because literally they caught him right as he's eyeing a
cool
foul
picture.
ball.
Yeah.
That is a cool picture there. And unfortunately, no fun facts for him. All right, let's keep going here. Now we appreciate an old Padres jersey here. This is Keith Comstock.
Yes.
Cowboy Jack. Keith Comstock. With the nice facial right there. Just appreciate the jersey.
Snoopy's best friend, bro.
Yep. Well, you know what they can do together, Cowboy Jack? Because let me tell you something about Keith Comstock. He lists backgammon and cribbage among his hobbies. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for on the cards. So if you ever see Keith Comstock and Snoopy playing cribbage, just let him play it out, right?
Serious business, bro.
Yep. I like that I can look at this and I'm like, I think this guy's a catcher just by the helmet. I don't know why, but he is a catcher for the Boston Red Sox, Mark Sullivan.
Yeah.
Which I no reference to this guy. All right, finally, at last, I can say, get your beers ready. We have a pitcher here from the Brewers named Mike Birkbeck. I barely remember it.
Salud.
Dude.
Cheers. Thanks for hanging out while we go through this. Oh, my goodness here. And actually, here's a pretty good player here for the Padres around this time span. This is Carmelo Martinez, their first baseman.
Yes.
He was actually batting around 300 for several years, if I remember right around then. All right.
We have some ogre facts here. Yes.
Oh, Donald Gibbs. Thank you. I can remember.
Durango kids, huh? Wow.
Right on. Meatballs, too. All right. There was a blood sport, too. It definitely didn't have John Claude, but, you know. All right, we're going to our final third here. I wonder if this guy, you would think it's this guy's rookie card, but how happy he is to take a photo here. But here, we got a lot of White Sox today. This is Fred Manrique. What's funny, though, is I haven't had the good White Sox yet, you know?
No. So, this guy, he's very suave. I like it. I like his look.
And hey, Fred is the youngest of 10 children. He played soccer in high school and was a member of the swimming team.
Okay. They're like yearbook quotes. Or,
I know. Hey, you know what? After reading all this minor league stuff, I'm happy to get anything personal here. All right. Speaking of personal, look out, Michael Mondragon. Todd Worrell is throwing a ball at you.
Oh,
there's one guy you like for
Todd
sure.
Worrell is very good.
Not Tim, the better version, Todd.
Yeah.
Also later a Dodger, but this is actually one of the better closers around the late 80s, early 90s.
Yep.
And unfortunately, no fun facts.
I have a replica jersey of him that I got
Really?
at Busch Stadium one time. Yeah.
Oh, right on. Was that Busch Stadium 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
3.
3.
Busch Stadium 3, the new one. Yeah.
All right. Another picture I actually really like, even though I don't really remember who this guy is. This is Mike Mason. But I do really enjoy
Mike
that
Mason. No,
it looks like he's almost the ground with his hand with his
yeah,
pitching
I know. He's a big dude.
Yeah. All right. I have a player where I'm hoping it gives one of my favorite fun facts because I've opened this. I've had his 87 card and an amazing fun fact. This is of course it doesn't. I won't say it then. You have to tune into the old Python packs. This is Mike Davis, an outfielder for the Athletics. I'll say it. On his 87 card, sits something along the lines of, when he's done playing, he wants to go into real estate. Yeah.
Don't they all? That
I'm like, okay. I'm like, that tells you you're not making millions of dollars in 87. But that was the 87 card. And I always remember that one. I was like laughing so hard whenever I got it.
Mike Davis also Mike Davis also half of the rock and roll RPMs.
Yes,
that is a deep pro wrestling card.
Wow. I hope I pull a Tommy Lane card next just for you, Michael.
Wow.
All right, let's go. Let's get our first and possibly only Hall of Famer here. We got the one and only Mike Schmidt. There we go.
Wow. Michael Jack Schmidt.
Wow.
Yes, exactly. And I'll give a little teaser. He might get mentioned in next week's AZ History briefly. As an end note, I'll just say that. How about that? And I like, of all things about Mike Schmidt, here it comes. Yes, you know what it is, minor league. Mike had 26 home runs and 91 RBIs at Eugene Pacific Coast League in 1972.
Okay.
Mind you, at this point in his career, he had 530 professional home runs in the major league level. Well, let's talk about what he did at Eugene in 1972.
Wow.
Here's a favorite and a former Brewer, a favorite of ours here at the Baseball Brew Crew. This is Moose Haas.
Oh, great name.
Moose Haas is still around. I love that name. Love the stash. Love the jersey. Longtime Brewer. And, of course, it gives minor league stats. So let's just keep going here. I love the hat elevation. We got a red here for you. This is Cal Daniels, Cowboy Durango. Actually a pretty good player for several seasons with them.
The Orioles as well?
I remember being a Dodger. I think you're on the Orioles, but I know of a Dodger for sure. Unfortunately, those stats here. All right, tip of the cap to both you guys from Jamie Quirk, catcher for the Royals.
Yes.
Because I'm just going to say it's for you guys. You know what I mean? The tip of the cap. Love that. All right, let's get to another catcher here. We have Mike Stanley, a longtime catcher here. At this point, he is with the Rangers. Again,
look how small he is.
Yeah, exactly. How small is he? He's 6'1". He's 6'1", 185. So know,
on that card, he's pretty small.
And all right, well, geez, we're gonna get another catcher here. We have, people don't even know it's a catcher. I'm gonna say it because he's the backup catcher for the Angels. This is a guy named Daryl Miller here.
Okay.
Yeah, I was hoping he had glasses on because I always remember him wearing glasses. But again, I think 75% of these players have mustaches.
Are you thinking of Daryl Porter?
Daryl Porter did as well, but I would know Daryl Miller because I would see him at the Angel games. He was like,
okay. Yeah, because Daryl Porter had like glasses. He was like
okay. You might be right, but I know for sure. But I thought Daryl did, but it's all right. All right, we got a grizzled vet here so much that there's nothing on the back of his besides the stats. And he's clean shaven, probably trying to look younger. This is Johnny Grubb. There's a guy with glasses right there.
Johnny Grubb.
Johnny Grubb.
Johnny Grubb.
Is that his real name, Cowboy Jack? No way, that's his real name. All right, let's keep going here. We only got like 3 left here. All right. Actually, this is a pretty great player here for the Blue Jays. This is Willie Upshaw.
Yeah.
I can't say it's quite Dave Kingman, but he hit a lot of home runs, but I don't remember him hitting for average as much. At least this point, he had 112 home runs, 265 batting average. Not too bad. He had a good run there with them. Oh, we have a friend of the show. His wife, not a friend of mine so much, so you know who that is? Fredlin as an Oriole.
Ah, look at that.
Fredlin. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's the best photo you can get a Fred. And hey, best wishes to Fred. I don't know if anybody follows on social media. He just had double knee replacement surgery.
Right. Yeah.
And he's been posting some really fun photos. He said, he put photos of him with, he's like, oh, I got to get on my walker. So he has like a bottle of Johnny Walker in his hand. I was like, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's definitely why he's a friend of the show. He has a walker and a bottle of Johnny Walker.
That's
and to close it out, unfortunately, probably my least favorite Angel, even though it's one of the best Angels around the late 80s. The one and only Wally World. Here's Wally Joyner.
Yeah.
He was at the BYU college there, which is where he went to school. I think I was just bitter because he replaced Rod Carew when Rod Carew retired.
Yeah.
But he was pretty great. Actually, here I'm going to read this one because it is fun here. So and it's a good example of this. A lot of these cards say this way in the clubhouse. So Wally signed as a 3rd round draft selection with the California Angels June 16th, 1983 by scout Joe Madden.
Oh, wow. That's right. He was before that. He was a coach for the Angel. That's right.
And with that, I am done. Thank you for hanging out. And that's the end of this Pint and Packs with Kevin.
That's
Cheers,
awesome.
everybody.
That was amazing, man.
Great Pint and Packs. We appreciate that greatly. All right. So this is our least favorite segment, but also it is a favorite of ours because we get to talk about great people that were in baseball that you might not know about that have passed away, but you should know about them. This is a great one. I was so glad, and this one kind of went under the radar. This one went under the radar because actually it wasn't even announced until recently. I saw like in the LA Times, in Anaheim, there's another paper. It only kind of got
the OC Register. I would assume the OC
yes.
Register.
And it just got announced recently. But Kevin, you were on top of this one, and you knew that he passed away recently. And
I don't know how. I just happened to stumble upon it. I'm like, oh my gosh. Because the only thing I'll say off the top is that he was actually on the original, it says Los Angeles Angels in 1961. He was actually one of the very first players when the Angels became a MLB franchise, not a PCL team. Yeah.
So this is Albie Pearson, an outfielder who batted left, threw left. He was born in 1934, died on February 21st, and he was born in Alhambra, California, died in La Quinta, California. Yeah. So that's right by, we went to La Quinta Brewing I think that's all right there in Palm Springs area. So,
and I will not be surprised if that photo is, I don't know if that's
it is 100% in Palm Springs, this picture.
Yeah.
That's where we went to go see the California Winter League.
Because that's where the Angels used to do spring training there back
exactly.
in the day.
So his Major League Baseball debut was in 1958 for the Washington Senators. His last
Can I tell? Oh, I want to tell how he got on the Senators when you're ready.
Yeah, we'll go through it. I just want to go through his all of his stuff. He last played for the California Angels in 1966. He was a 270 a batter, 28 home runs, 214 RBIs. He played for the Senators in 58 to 59, the Orioles from 59 to 60, the Los Angeles / California Angels from 61 to 66. He was an All-Star in 63, the AL Rookie of the Year in 58. And this is him with the Seals, the San Francisco Seals. So he has this is with Mace Brown, Johnny Murphy, and manager Eddie Jost.
Well, hold on. Now, Jack, which one do you think is Albie Pearson out of these four?
I think he's the guy holding the bat.
Yeah, probably because you're thinking that shorter guy is the bat boy, but no, that's Albie Pearson.
That is Albie Pearson. Yes,
he's a little fella.
Oh, yes. I got plenty of notes on that, Jack. When you're ready, look at this. There you go.
Yeah, so this is him. The guy on the left is Steve Bilko. He was a hitter for the rival Los Angeles Angels in the PCL. This is in 1957. But we talked about him being a Rookie of the Year. The NL Rookie of the Year was Orlando Cepeda. Wow. So he was in good company right here. And he had decent stats. I think the rookie stats were a little bit different back then. I mean, he only hit let's see, what was his average? He's only hit like 275, but he was good. He was a good player. And so Kevin, tell us more about what you know.
I have so much. I got to figure out where I want to start on this. What I love is that like you find little stuff like this. His name's Albie because he was named after a famous college football player of all people named Albie Booth. Like this guy, I'm like, why would I name somebody after a college football player? Like this is back when NFL would not even been that big because he was born in 1939. You said?
Yes.
Wow, so he actually win. Okay, so my gosh, think about that. Like he won.
All right, 34.
34. Sorry, because I'm thinking, wait, I had the year wrong. So yeah, like college football is probably was bigger than the NFL back in those days. And he actually is this guy Albie Booth, who is named after as a college football Hall of Famer for what that's worth. So as you saw there, Cowboy Jack, kind of a little fella.
Yeah.
So he was the smallest player in MLB when he came in. So he was billed at either as little as 5'4" and 7/8 inches, or up to 5'5" and 3/8, depending on the source. Jack, which source do you think he said he was?
I don't know.
Well, you would think he has the highest number. 5'5", 3/8 is the highest number, so that's what he said he was.
Right.
So, and of course, it said his weight was 141 pounds. So picture a guy's like
no way.
Yeah, I'm just saying, 141 pounds, 5'5" and a half or whatever. I'll round up even further. But you're 5'5" 141 pounds, and this guy's playing Major League Ball. It's crazy.
No, there's no way that guy was tipping 140, bro.
No way. This is where it gets fun. So, he had a tendency to gain weight during the offseason. Here's a quote. He's like, "Yeah, I go up to 142." His neck size was 15 3/4, and his arms are 3 inches long. And he says, "I'm built funny." And he says, and the Angels third base coach, a guy named Rocky Bridges, says, "I think you'll be an archaeological find."
Wow, dude.
Yeah. So it gets better.
Rocky Bridges, real quick. Rocky Bridges used to be the manager of the Phoenix Giants in the early 80s. And if you look at him, he looks like Don Zimmer, like Popeye. Like he's the embodiment of like all these, everything cool. So I'll find a picture of him because I'll put it on our social media. Go ahead.
All right. So Cowboy Jack Durango,
yes, sir.
And Michael Mondragon. Sorry, I included both here. I usually just try to pop Jack, but I'm going to pop Michael on this. So you see his award there. He won the 1958 Rookie of the Year. So let me I see if I have it here, how he got there. Because he actually literally wrote a letter to the owner of the president of the Senators, a guy named Cal Griffith, which their stadium was named after, if I remember right. He sent a request permission to attend camp early in order to get started everybody. And he wrote a note saying, "It's extremely important. I need a ton of work on certain parts of my playing. There's no shortcut to being a winning ball player when you're 5'5". So when Griffith saw Albie Pearson show up for the first time, he said that Albie looks like an elf.
Wow.
Yeah, there is that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny because everything says Albie on this guy. So,
right.
So here's what I love. So forget him winning Rookie of the Year, Cowboy Jack Durango. You want to hear how he was really honored? Let me tell you, he was really honored. So in 58, the Little Guys and Dolls of America, an organization whose membership is limited to those 5'6" and under, voted Albie their Athlete of the Year. How about that? That's some accolades right there.
Little Guys and Dolls.
And then in this article I'm reading here, he said he had never heard from this organization since then. So Albie says, I guess they extricated me or disintegrated me or something. But he said in the article I read, this is like I think 64, and I got this article, he says, he gets 200 some letters a month from what he calls the little people.
Wow, dude. Wow.
Hang on, let me read you part of a letter. Dear Albie, I want to say that I was very proud when you hit that home run against the Yankees the other day. I went home and told off my big fat wife. Just keep hitting them so I could be the boss around the house.
Holy what?
It's a different time.
Mind you, I'm reading stuff from a Sports Illustrated article about Albie. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not a lot of home runs, but he did hit 28. Oh
yes.
My gosh.
Yeah. And he became like a huge celebrity. Here he is with Dwight D. Eisenhower. That's Ike to you.
That's Ike to you. That is Ike.
Yes, the 31st U.S. president. Look at this.
Oh,
he actually so this is actress Marilyn Monroe. So Albie Pearson actually walked her out. This is at Dodger Stadium in 1962. There was a game.
I will say the Angels played at Chavez Ravine Dodger Stadium before Angel Stadium was built.
Right. So they played the Yankees, and this was a muscular dystrophy like promotion. So he actually walked her out, and they had a big thing. That's right.
It was so kind of him to when she's at the microphone put a step stool next to it for him.
I gotta see how big are those heels that he has on. I mean, she has on. You know,
exactly. Yes.
All right. Yeah, exactly. Do I have some more fun? You want me to tell a little bit more about this guy?
Please.
So apparently, he was like a Melodramatic player or a hot dog. So let me tell you what he said about that. He said, "It's difficult for a little man to be humble. I'm probably the littlest hot dog. I admit, a little man always looks like he's putting it on. It's basically his nature. For as a small kid, he always had to scrap to make his way. Even if he becomes a big money tycoon, he remains feisty. That's always been the common bond between little men. My idol is Napoleon Bonaparte."
What?
But my dad told me, "Son, the real great people in the world are the ones of humility. The greater you become, the more humble you must become. So, sometimes I say or do things that are a little egotistical. Every day of my life, I do things I shouldn't do. Then I say to myself, who are you kidding? Relax and cool it. In our era, the era of thermonuclear weapons, rumors of war, what's the use of being a warrior yourself?"
Wow.
It's so
I told
crazy.
you I got a lot for this. I told you I still have more. Yeah, I still have some more fun stuff when you're ready.
So like,
know when you're ready for that.
Well, let's look at this. This is actually in the early days of the Los Angeles Angels.
Mm-hmm.
This picture is definitely taken in Palm Springs for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so that is Ted Kluslewski. I hope I'm saying that right.
Wait a minute, he has sleeves.
You're right. Usually, he doesn't have his sleeves on. Yeah. And then the guy taking a knee right there, that is Steve Bilko, the one we saw before, the big dude. So he eventually played with him in those years. So tell us more about Albie.
All right, let me see where I start. Let me see where I want to go here, because I'm like, all right. So let me see here. I'll give you an example of something he would say is like, "I never had the satisfaction of looking an umpire in the eye. I'm forever signing autographs for kids taller than me and human skyscrapers like," and he names two players I don't really know, a guy named Norm Shockchin and Jim Lemon of our club, "make me feel like a midget when they walk by, but hand me a bat and let me step in the box and I'm as good as the next guy." Some of them at least.
Wow.
I just love like these quotes. Like this guy is like a quote machine, And so one thing he had to do, Cowboy Jack, or anybody watch AZ History, our live one, we talked about a guy named Bo Belinsky. Cowboy Jack, do you remember Bo Belinsky at all?
Yes, I remember Bo Belinsky.
So Bo Belinsky was a wild man. He became he was actually an overnight sensation of the Angels, pitched a no-hitter in like his third game ever. And yeah, if I can't do that.
He was the Gino Hernandez of baseball, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure.
More or less, he became the playboy of LA. Like he was dating Jane Mansfield and like a couple of people like that we were talking about. So he was like the hot guy in LA. And he was a little out of control. So Albie was known for being I'll go actually, you know what? Should I just go in that now? He was not a drinker. He was a laid back guy. So let me see if I can find you what I found about him here. Just a chill out guy, and of course I can't find this in my notes. I have so many notes here. So yeah, I definitely got. Oh gosh, I hate this. We're live, pal. I'm like, where are my notes here? So he didn't have. His foulest swear word is rat thing. Sorry,
rat thing.
Kevin, we're on the air.
Sorry. Wow. I know we're live on the air. Jeez. And he was an avid golfer, a Baptist. He actually became an ordained minister later in life. He had a large and modest wardrobe. Cowboy Jack, do you have your calculator ready for me? He said that he had 2 pairs of $75 alligator shoes. How much would $75 in 1964 be in 2023?
1964. How $75 a piece?
Yes, $75 for a pair. He had 2 pairs, but let's just do 75.
That is $723.80.
Wow. Man, listen to that, man. Woo, living the lifestyle. And he says they are not elevators. I'm like, what is he talking about? What's that mean? But he was like super popular among the Angels fans. Obviously, you can tell by the way I'm talking about this guy. But some players around the league resented his attitude and successes. He don't drink, smoke, or fool around, says one picture. You can't trust his kind. Said about him. Like, that is fantastic. And others found him a small but perfect target for heckling. Apparently some players called Albie the marvelous midget. And
wow.
Yeah. Ooh, and I mean, yeah, it's the 60s. Apparently I can say that. I'm just saying this for historical purposes, right?
Yes.
And tell him to, quote, get a couple more coats of shellac on your teeth. Whatever. I mean, ooh, these insults from 60s.
Wow.
Ooh, watch out.
He does have a solid smile, dude. That's a good smile.
Yep.
That's clean living right there, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna mention Bobolitsky now. A quote Bo said about him was, "A lot of guys look up to the little man." So there you go. And so I talked about Bo. Bo's a wild man. So Albie actually got asked to roommate with Bo in order. And maybe the idea was, hey, maybe you can settle Bo out a little bit. And Albie says, I thought maybe I can get him in bed early, get him off to a good start. And he ended up getting all these phone calls in the middle of the night. And exactly. You know what? That's true. No coffee either. We talked about his way of life and said, all right, I'll try your way for 2 weeks. This is quoting Bobulinski. He said to Albie, I'll try your way for 2 weeks. You try mine for 3 days. And of course, Albie was like, nope, not having that. So, and if you're trying to redeem me, you got to make a sacrifice to the gods. It's like, oh my gosh, so definitely like, just reading the stuff. It's like Albert, and apparently like Bo wanted him to play pool with him. And he's like, I wouldn't learn pool. I don't think the atmosphere is becoming. I don't want to get that green tan from the tables. Bo and I like each other, but his interests vary from mine. And Michael Mondragon, I would tell you, is just for you. His next roommate is a guy named Don Lee as a pitcher. All right. He was known as the Big Water Moccasin. And he actually went to U of A, Cowboy Jack.
Wow.
University of Arizona. And what Don says about him is that I try not to disturb him. He's small and burns up a lot of energy, so I know how important sleep is to him. Albie was no trouble. If he got noisy, I just stuffed him in a drawer. Like I said, I just got like quotes galore about this guy. So and I'm sorry, I just keep going on, but I was just finding all this stuff and just loving it. So, and he actually did become, like I said, he was famous to the Angels there. He actually, as a result of that, got to do some acting. Believe it or not, he was actually on a couple like TV shows, and he even turned down a role in a movie because it was going to be portraying him as a character who's going to be drinking. That's how straight laced and a goody two shoes this guy was. And what's your next slide, Michael? Dude. What do you got? Oh, there we go. So he actually made like gospel records. You know what I mean? And that one on the left, it's autographed. You can buy that on eBay right now if you do a search. I think it was like $8 and then another $7.50 in shipping. So there you go, Cowboy Jack. And he has what he terms, Michael, a Steve Lawrence type voice. That's just for you. No one else can know what I'm talking about there. On his first record, he said it sold 997,000 copies, less than 1 million. So he made one record, and then the second one never even got released. He says, my own fault. They called me in, wanted me to sing rock and roll. I told them I didn't want to do it. I found out right away I wasn't indispensable, and I was dispensed with.
Wow.
A lot of fun facts about this guy.
Well, rest in power, Albie Pearson. Wow, what a character. I'm so glad we got to celebrate his great life. So
can I give one more quote just in general for life? I have a quote, not by him. I think it's just good for anybody in their life. So Albie Pearson played for a guy named Paul Richards, who was a manager in Baltimore. And he told Albie that baseball or anything else that's worthwhile is like a greased flagpole. If you keep climbing, you're not going to get any worse, and you may get better. But if you stop, you're going to slide right down.
Ah, that's awesome. That's a great one. That's awesome.
Thank you for letting me talk about Albie Pearson.
What a great deep dive, man.
The littlest angel, Albie Pearson. Rest in power.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so that is the show we have for you. And remember, this Saturday, it's at 6 a.m. Pacific time. Rip and Review. We have a video from Angelo Trinidad. And
I talk about it. It is it's video from a card show he went to in Burbank, California a couple weeks ago.
So it's the Burbank card show. The Burbank card show, but it's in Ontario, California.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's in Ontario. Go figure. So I think they travel around.
Okay, for those who don't live here, Burbank is literally like 40 miles from Ontario. So
yeah,
I don't know.
The Burbank card show. All right. So yeah, thank you for joining us tonight. Here's where we are on all the socials. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Guys, any last thoughts before we sign off for this week? Oh, before you go, Ian wanted to know about my hat. This is the Amarillo Sod Poodles. They are the AA affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks, located in Amarillo, Texas. I love the colors. I love all the. I just love all these minor league hats. I think they're the coolest. I'm actually in March. I will actually be in Texas. So I don't know. It won't be during the actual minor league season, which kind of stinks, but who knows? Maybe at the end of the year, end of the month.
Hey, you know what? You might be able to stop by a stadium and get another hat for your collection.
That's true. Maybe the Frisco Rough Riders or the El Paso Chihuahuas. Yeah, Chihuahuas. That's it. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for asking as well. Guys, any last thoughts?
Just thank you to everybody who watched. If you are watching, please hit the subscribe button. It's a small click for you that doesn't cost a thing, but it means the world to us. We appreciate you joining, and tune in next week for Hazy History with Kevin Lyon and Cowboy Jack Durango. This is one that my doctor warned me about my blood pressure on. So I'm going to have to wear a blood pressure cuff next week just to get through this guy.
Can I say the topic?
Yes, you can, sir.
All right, so this is one that when we were doing Hazy History live off and on for like a year, and we had this man just continuously come up, and every time Jack's blood would boil. So we're finally going to do a deep dive on this guy. It is the first commissioner of Major League Baseball, the never happy Judge Kennesaw Mountain.
Wow, can't wait.
Oh, it's going to be good.
Not
for Jack's heart, but for everybody else's heart. It'll be good.
Well, awesome show tonight, guys. Thank you in the chat for joining us. If you're watching us on the replay, like and subscribe, all that jazz helps us out so much. We'll see you next Tuesday with another Baseball Brew Crew podcast. Good night, everyone. Take care.